Welcome to another episode of, I don't know what I'm going to call myself anymore. Little identity crisis going on here. I'll figure it out. Thinking Pennywise, Jess. Little play on words. Go back to look what Jess found. I don't know. Maybe it don't matter. Nothing matters. Except pennies. Well, of course, Christ, number one. So I'm being facetious. Spiritual health, physical health. Emotional health. Financial health is probably, not even probably, financial health is last in the spectrum of health. It's financial. Spiritual health is number one. And the road to spiritual health is narrow. The road to spiritual health is narrow. It's narrow. And only through Christ can we heal and be healthy on our spiritual journey. And that's it, right? The road to heaven is narrow. The road to hell is wide and full. You got your spiritual health, physical health, emotional health, and last is financial health. I talk mostly here on this channel about financial health, pennies, and and the value of pennies. This penny roll here is a penny roll I got at this point a couple years ago. I have a bunch of them. I gave some out to my members, and as you can see, it's either 100% copper or mostly copper. Somebody most likely died, and their family brought all of their penny rolls to the bank, and I was fortunate enough to get a lot of them. I got like $50, $60. And about every 2 to 3 weeks, I open up a roll, and that's what we're doing here today. So lately, I've been on this economic kick, like talking about. See, if I just talk about these pennies, I'm gonna go nuts. Okay, because each one of these, and this roll, we're gonna have a two-parter. I already know. There's no way. It doesn't matter if I talk about something or I don't. These pennies they're all copper, and copper pennies take a little extra time to look at. I'm gonna try to get this roll done, and so this is like a BU, right? Brilliant uncirculated penny. AU at the lowest, but it's more like a BU conditioned penny, and it's worth about 50 cents to $1, right? Let's say 50 cents. Obviously, you can buy rolls of them still for whatever, $5-10 for now. For now, you can get them for $5-10. Soon, you will not be able to buy these for $5 or $10. And I was fortunate enough to get a roll of these for 50 cents. I paid a penny for all these pennies. I paid a penny for a cent. All these cents I paid a penny for. Any way you want to look at it. And on these clean, brilliant looking cents, you will be able to see if there's errors much easier than the dirty ones or the browner ones. And, I'll take a little extra time to look at them. I'm going to look under the chin for the die clash. I'm going to look at the date and the other letters, the motto for doubling, and anything else, any other errors that I might find. And that's going to take a while. So while I do that, we are going to start our next topic. Again, I'm gonna stay on the economy and economics for a while, and I'm gonna relate it to pennies, right? Because if you cannot, everyone can afford a penny, right? The penny is the lowest um, denomination of anything, right? It's the cheapest anything that you can get is a penny. So I'm gonna have to separate these a little bit over here on my desk. Some of them are a little bit shinier than others, like this one here. Well, that one's pretty. Man, these are really really shiny. All right, then the browner ones I'll put to the side. Did I look at that last one? That was a 60. Oh, that was the 78. You know, this penny roll is probably worth about. I mean, remember this is unsearched. When after I'm done, right, I'll have this penny roll. Most of them will go into other penny rolls, right? The really bright, the really shiny ones will go into uh, MS tubes. This one here, like this, these browner ones, this might even go into my BU roll, to be honest with you. It's so clean. No floating roof. It's so clean, it might go into my BU roll. Oh, this is the other 69 I was looking at before. No floating roof. There is that little thing going on the corner. All right. They're both 6. So we got a bunch of 75s and a bunch of 69s. Look at this, man. That's amazing. I mean, this is stunning. This is even nicer than the other ones. I mean, that's beautiful. This one's like even shinier. That's incredible. I don't know. I'm probably not going to be able to get to whatever I'm talking about on my topic. I'll try to do the best I can, but these pennies are going to have me freaking out. And I'm going to stop the video at about 15 minutes. It's just, I don't want to rush through these. Misaligned die. Doesn't really add any extra value. You know, somebody might like this one instead of another one. You know what I mean? So. So, it's really, really, really shiny. So one of the things that I have talked about is, in my opinion, everybody should have like an eBay store, a Macari store, or something. Everybody should have something like that. Everybody. Even if you're on a fixed income, you're on Social Security, it doesn't matter because now it's $20,000, right? Now it's 20 grand, so you can make like $20,000, and they're not going to send you a 1099, and that's $20,000. Remember, that's including tax and including it's $20,000 gross, right? Net is after you take all that stuff off. Net is after you take off taxes and shipping, and so eBay does that, and I think Macari does too. I'm not I'm not too familiar with the other platforms. But I'll just assume that they all do. right? In your net, they will show you your gross and they'll show you your net. 1970, the 1960 is the one that comes with all the small and larger date. The 1970S also comes with the small and larger date. We're moving along here. Who knows? Moving along. So in my opinion, everybody should have should have a store. I mean, unless you're really, really well off and, you have no, five, if you make a couple thousand extra a year, that means nothing to you. All right. Then I'm not talking to you. Some people, five or $10,000 doesn't mean anything. And other people, $5,000 and $10,000 means everything. They're working and they're working and their income goes to bills, childcare, food, everything, right? Their whole income is gone. And then, they got a credit card they carry on them for when they're strapped for cash so they could still go buy McDonald's after work because they're hungry. I still do that. I still buy stuff, my credit card, when I go out to these beauties, man. This is ridiculous. I didn't think I was going to make it through this whole roll, but I don't know. I'm moving along pretty well here. So, and I'm on a topic, so I really don't want to change my topic. There's another misaligned die. And then they had this eBay store where, they're just listing stuff, and if, I'm just going to use round numbers. Let's say they net $6,000 a year. 6,000 a year is 500 a month. You net. Where's the other one? Oh, there it goes. Is that it? I don't know. Anyway, you net 500, which would really be about, after eBay takes their 20%, shipping is probably another 5%, and then taxes another 5 to 10%. You're talking about 20% minimum in addition to the 6,000. So that's 200 per thousand. That's an extra 12 price. So to net, and then of course whatever you paid for whatever you're selling. If you're selling pennies, then it might be your cost might be $10. All right, if you list 10 times $10 is 50 cents. That's 20 times 50. That's 1,000, right? Yeah, that's 1,000 pennies. You listed 1,000 pennies for $10, and whatever you sell. Well, it's hard to make $600 in pennies. I'll admit that. You'd probably have to list a lot of pennies at $1 a penny. You're talking about, you have to sell them for $2 to make a buck. So you're talking about selling, 1,200 pennies or 600-700 pennies a month. You're talking about thousands of pennies. So that might not be. That's not exactly what I'm talking. If you could do that, God bless you. If you got that kind of, but listing takes so much time. They do have these cross listing apps. There's another 69. This one has the floating roof a little bit. These pennies are crazy, man. They're insane. So yeah, and you can list on multiple platforms, but it's most of them charge something. There are some that are kind of free, but I don't know too much about them. I looked into Macari has a nice cross listing um, app inside of Macari. That means you there's a you says list from other platforms. It's in Macari. Macari, and that, let me tell you, that's one feature Macari has that's really awesome that other platforms don't have. It's that list from other platform feature. And you click a button, you put in your store HTTP, HTML, whatever it is, and it just does it automatically. It's pretty crazy, to be honest with you. These are some nice brown pennies. I see that on the 63. I'll look at that in a second under the loop. So anyway, my point is everybody should have it, should learn about it. I know it takes time to learn how to use everything, especially if you're older. Wow. Man, that three is awesome. Even on the reverse, I'm seeing some um, blending. Let me check out copper coins for the 63 and see if they show a three like that on the P1DO. They show the eyelid, which I did not check. Oh, there's got to be a date here because I'm seeing it. So they're showing it in that. You got to look at the eyelid. You got to look at the L. I'm not seeing anything here at the date, which is pretty crazy. All right, let me look at the eyelid and let me look at the L, the bottom of the L, see if there's a notch there. Or the B. No, and the eyelid. The eyelid, it's a little notch right under the top eyelid. I don't see it there. I feel like I see a notch on the bottom eyelid, but not coming past the eyelid though, like you're supposed to see. So I'm not seeing. I'm just seeing this extra thickness on the three. To be honest with you, that's what I'm seeing, and I'm trying. I'm clicking on next page. Next page. Okay, doubling on the date in IGWT. IGWT and God we trust. Isn't that the motto? I thought anyway. Whatever. It says mind doubling on the motto. Which I see something on the motto. I don't know. I guess that could be considered minor doubling. I don't know if that's. I'm looking for the three. That's really what I'm looking for. If someone shows a three and they're showing the 9 and the 6, and it's not that valuable. Why is it a 6 for? Oh, the 6 and 3. Anyway, the 3 looks kind of extra thick to me, and I guess that's all I could say about that. It looks extra thick. It might not be. It might just be smashed, but the whole front of the coin has that kind of shift to it. So you can make yourself an extra few bucks. So the person who's spending all their money, but because like what's normal, right? Because you just never can make enough money. That's all there is to that. And then they have a store and they're listing whatever, man. They're listing their pennies. They're listing Pokemon cards, that the kids aren't playing with anymore. I'm just saying, I'm not saying to sell your kid stuff. I'm just saying, let's say you have, your kid's small and he's gonna throw them in the garbage and like, you give them to your kid, maybe use the money to buy your kid more Pokemon cards instead of using your cash from your job. And I mean, I want Pokemon cards. Okay, well, give me your old ones. We'll put them on, and you teach them something, right? Teach them about fiscal responsibility. Teach them how to invest. You teach them how to sell something, man. Let me tell you something. Car salespeople, I don't care what they say on I'm talking about people who own dealerships. These people are they get all that they don't I don't want to say that they don't care if they don't sell anything, but they're super I don't want to say they're super rich like billionaires, but they own these are the people who own big houses. They own they own mansions in whatever town and whatever township and whatever county they live in. They and all their families, everybody in their family are driving brand new cars. I know. I've met some of them. I met some of their family members. All their cousins, they're all driving. Even when they drive, they're driving 2, 3 year old BMWs. I remember. Forget about it, man. I got stories, man. It's crazy, man. And these people got a lot of salespeople are like the upper middle class of this country, right? People who know how to sell stuff. Okay. Why? Because they're always ahead of the curve. They're always ahead of the curve. You feel me? They're selling stuff and they're raising prices on stuff as inflation goes on. Meanwhile, your paycheck isn't going up. Oh, we got a 1960. We got a variety penny. I don't know, small, large date. I can't tell. I never could tell anymore. I try to learn about them, and every time I look at them, they look the same. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. And these pennies are something else. Everybody should have a store. That's all I'm saying. Everybody should have a store. Not one zinc cent. Let me tell you something. 99.99% of you out there are never going to open up a penny roll. Never penny roll hunt a customer wrap penny roll from the bank. That is 100. Most of you will never, 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 never see one of these. So at least here on the channel, you get an opportunity to see what it's like. This is probably going to be most of y'all's only opportunity to see a 100% copper penny being opened live on the channel. This is it. Misaligned die. Wow, what a killer. This is a killer roll. So anyway, so I guess if I had to make a point during this video, it would be, if you don't have an eBay store, get one. If you do have an eBay store, or whatever, but multiple stores, whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying. Get one. Get one and sell your stuff, man. Find a little space somewhere where you can throw, things that you're selling in a closet. Whatever, I don't know, man. Whatever you got to do, man. But sell stuff. Don't get into credit card debt. Don't or minimize it. Minimize the risk to credit card debt. See, this video could have easily been a two-parter. So we found a couple interesting pennies today. We found, of course, a bunch of these ultra brilliant pennies, and we got that 1960 in really nice condition, and we got this 63. So I don't know, which one do I want to take a picture of? I could do this. I could take the picture of the 1960, and I could say, is that a small date, a large date? I don't know. What does it go for? What is the 1960 in That's pretty close to BU condition. Let's go to eBay. Let's go 1960 penny BU, and let's go lowest first. Yeah. All pennies now in really nice condition are about $1, and they're selling for $1.50 here. You want to look? They're selling. That's about that's the Denver. Yeah, that's the non-Denver. $1.50. You know, it's something. It's something. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is going to be a $2-3 penny one day. And again, I don't know the difference between a small date, the large date, and I don't even think they know the people who are selling them. That's why they don't have. That's why the ones on the bottom don't even write small, large date on them. Very attractive penny. $1.50. They're selling straight out for $1.50. No best offer, and he's selling them. You know, that's what I'm saying, man. Anyway, I hope I'm getting it through to you. You have to have a little bit of that entrepreneurship in you. You know, that get up and go while you can, right? At a certain point in your life, you don't care anymore. I'm assuming. You know, that's what I seen driving an ambulance for 8 years. You know, go to people's houses who are older and sick. You don't care anymore, man. You know, just like whatever, man. Just give me a snack. You're happy that you get a snack. You know, just give me a snack, man. You know, give me a Pop Tart, nice warm Pop Tart, and a cup of coffee, and you're golden, man. That's it, man. Yo, every day above ground is Christmas. You know, a Pop Tart and a cup of coffee, you're good to go. But before that, while you're firing on 7 out of 8 cylinders, go out there and sell something. Open up that store, man. You know, if you don't have that fire in your belly to make an extra few bucks, screw it, man. Just file for bankruptcy. Just buy a bunch of crap your credit cards and see if you can get a bankruptcy for $500, and don't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. You'll get in a couple of years, you'll get your credit back, and you still have some stuff. I don't know what to say. That's not my recommendation. My recommendation is open up an eBay store, open up whatever, man. Sell your stuff, man. Get rid of that junk in your house and make some money. You know, pay off your credit cards, sell your kids stuff that before they go in the garbage, so you could buy some more stuff for him and not use your own cash. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was supposed to be a 2-parter. I think I have another one of these penny rolls around here somewhere. Yeah, I got another one. I'm gonna continue with this because look, it's all copper. So I'm gonna do this 2 in a row. I have another one here, and so this is episode. What did I say? Six what? 646 and episode 647. Here goes another one. I have it here. I brought them up, and I could just add them to my penny piles before I do my shorts. And I think that's what I'm going to do. And here go the special ones. And why is that one there? Oh, that's the floating roof. So I'll just add it to my pile, and I'll do another roll. So I probably won't do another one of these penny rolls and I'll continue the conversation in episode 647 about eBay stores and selling your stuff and the entrepreneurial. I'm going to continue. So I have the thought in my head. So I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to start tomorrow's video. If you're a member, you'll see the next video right away, right? Because that's one of the benefits of being a member is that you get to see my content instantly. So anyway, God bless. Stay on that. There's only one. That's it. If you're still here, that's it, man. The narrow road is through Christ. That's it. That's number one. The narrow road. Everything else is meaningless. I mean, Christ said, I don't know. I don't want to misquote him, but basically, pair of sandals and a robe, and his word and go out and preach it. So if I get an opportunity, I probably do this once every 2 or 3 months, where I mention Christ, because this is really not a channel where, it's not it's not that it's a penny, it's a hobby channel, right? And maybe a little bit of an investment channel. But every once in a while, I just have to throw that out there. Like, if you don't have Christ in your life, you've got nothing. You've got nothing. You got zero, man. You got zero. You got nothing. And so you might say, how do you get Christ in your life? I don't believe in Christ, or whatever the case may be. My first recommendation is to read the New Testament, right? Because it talks about the life of Christ. And the other is prayer, right? Prayer. If you want to know about Christ, pray. The Lord will reveal all to you through prayer. Everything. Everything. So you can read about Christ in the New Testament, right? Great. I've read that, and they have audio books. Even if you're blind, if you're blind and deaf, then I guess you have to use Braille, I guess, But if you're blind, you could listen to audio books. If you're deaf, you guess you could just read it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody could read. He has a way to reach everyone. Read the New Testament and pray. Even Christ even tells you how to pray, right? You go to a quiet area. It's good to say, to do the sign of the cross, to do the Our Father, the Hail Mary. Some people do a bunch of prayers. Some people do the Rosary. But I'm saying, if you're not sure, like, what's this guy talking about? You could read the Our Father, the Hail Mary, and you pray and you ask the Lord, for insight about his only son that he gave the earth. And say, oh, I want to know more. And I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, but it's true. And that will reveal to you the strength of Christ, is how he is revealed to you through prayer. And of course, it helps in tremendously understanding and reading his history, his story, history, not a fairy tale. He was truly here, and he truly rose and gave his life so that we can all live in heaven. Anyway, I left it for the end. I guess, I don't know. I just wanted to finish off with that. I'll see you on the next one.